So India's poor showing in the ongoing tour of England stems from a combination of various reasons. The men in blue have lost three consecutive T20 internationals against England, and with me to talk more on the performance of Shreyas Iyer-led Indian team, I am joined by former India opener WV Raman. Raman sir, welcome to Revsportz. Do you blame the reckless shot selection by our Indian batters?
Hello, Debasis. Thank you for the welcome and also for having me on the show. Uh, it's a combination of factors, like you rightly said. I think, firstly, to start with, the downfall of the Indian batters have been plotted well by the England side. Their bowlers came out with a specific plan, they executed the plans well, and that's the reason why they've succeeded enormously. And quite obviously, there's a lot of lessons for the Indian batters. These things happen when any side undertakes a tour abroad, and I think that's exactly what is happening with the Indian team as well now.
Do you think the constant shuffling of the playing 11 has disrupted the team balance?
That could be attributed as one of the reasons, but when runs are not forthcoming from the batters, I think it gets to a stage where the team manager will try to mix it around a little bit, tweak it around a little bit to see if things get better. But nothing has really gone well for the Indians on this tour, unfortunately. And one part of it is that, like I said, the England bowlers have planned things well, but the Indians have also made a lot of mistakes, unforced errors. They've let go of quite a few opportunities on the field. There have been quite a few extras bowled by way of no balls, which is something that they need to really ensure it doesn't happen ever in the future. Yes, an odd no ball here and there is likely to happen. Of course, humans are not machines, but still, you got to try and work towards minimizing as many mistakes as possible.
So, obviously, a team that won the T20 World Cup just a few months back cannot be the pushovers. Means, obviously, they are too good a side. Then, what actually is the reason, do you think, from outside that India find themselves losing five matches? If you consider the two losses against Ireland, now there's three T20 internationals against England. What actually is the reason?
Different pitches, different conditions. There have been quite a few challenges, and quite obviously, the runs have not been forthcoming from the batters, which has rendered the cost of the bowlers a lot of hardships. So that's the reason I think we've not been able to put it across either Ireland or England, and this is perhaps something that would wake everybody up and realize that there's quite a lot of areas that they need to work on, and this is coming on the back of a big victory. And sometimes when you have a bit of a slump immediately after being on a high, it will help matters, because there's enough time for this team to get its act together and then try and work with specific plans to build up for the next World Cup, because it's a long time away and there's a lot of time to make a lot of plans to work out a lot of things.
So, let me ask you: do the young group of batters lack game awareness and resilience?
We cannot be judgmental just going by a few games. What also needs to be looked into is the kind of preparations that are being carried out. It also depends on the kind of conversations that they have. Of course, the conversations inside the dressing room should stay there. It cannot be something that need to be put out. But what is also important is that these youngsters need to be given a string of chances. And then you come to a conclusion as to what it is that they're capable of doing. When I say a string of chances, I'm referring to about 15, 20 games, because uh, we do know that the team management would like to try and start preparations or work out things or work out options much before the start, much before they get into the planning stages for the next World Cup. But still, the fact of the matter is that these guys, youngsters who are talented, who the team management thinks can do the job in the forthcoming World Cup, they need to be played on a regular basis, regardless of what results they churn out, so that one, they get a feel of what it is, they try and learn if they falter, and then they get better by playing regularly, so that in the long term, everybody benefits.
So, talking about giving opportunity to youngsters, obviously a lot of focus has been on Vaibhav Sooryavanshi before the start of the series. How will you rate his performance so far in the three matches that he played for India?
Don't even look at what he does. If you have taken the call of picking him in the side, you think he's good enough. His talent is never in doubt, and he's a young kid who's done extraordinarily well. And quite obviously, he'll be given a lot of focused attention by the opposition bowlers, and that's the way international cricket functions. So, what I'm suggesting here is that don't look at the numbers he churns out. Just let that boy play 15, 20 games on the trot. You see what he's capable of doing. I'm sure that he'll do extraordinarily well once he gets the confidence, once he keeps playing regularly, because uh, from what he's done in the three games that he's played so far, is that he's not looked to do something different, which is important, because sometimes what happens is a cricketer gets into a playing 11 in international cricket. He tends to think that he's got to do different things to succeed there, but he's not done that. Within his framework, I'm sure he'll try and learn what he needs to do better in order to succeed at the international level as well.
So, talking about this format, particularly T20 format, obviously the need of R is to go out there and start hitting from the word go. Perhaps he needs to stay in the middle, spend some time, say 5, 6 balls before he sets his eye in, and then go after the bowling. But that has not been the case with Vaibhav Sooryavanshi so far. Whatever we have seen, he has started from the word go. So, something that you need to say that he need to tweak a bit as far as his approach is concerned.
I said when I was answering the previous question, Debasis, that nobody need to look at what numbers he churns out. The same goes as far as conversations are concerned. Let him work it out himself, because the success that he had in the IPL is primarily due to what he felt he needed to do, what he was capable of doing. Let him see to what extent his methods that he's adapted so far to succeed at the IPL works out for him in international cricket. Then maybe if he wants to have a chat, uh, people can have a chat with him, try and see where it is that he's having his doubts, or where it is that he thinks things are not working out. So it should come from there, because it's so easy for everybody to try and pile on to any cricketer for that matter, to just dump them with a lot of knowledge. But whether it is required, what kind of knowledge is required, is the important thing for the people suggesting to assess before any suggestions are made, any kind of adjustments are suggested.
So, what to make out of the decision to drop out Sanju Samson for the upcoming series against Zimbabwe?
I won't like to focus on any individual. You've known me long enough, Debashis. I don't focus just on individuals. I tend to look at it at a holistic level. What I would want to see is that if the basic uh, thing is about searching the options for the forthcoming World Cup, or if they are planning long term, they need to try and play with the same 20 for the next 6 months, and then you will see how things are shaping up, and then you'll have the others coming in too, or not a part of the squad, the Hardik Pandyas and the Bumrahs and the like. They'll also come back. Maybe after 6 months, depending on everybody's fitness, you can always play another set of 50, which means that you're gradually filtering your options as you approach the World Cup. So whatever squads that you're picking, whatever combinations that you're playing in the 11, will need to be done on a 6 month spirit, because you got enough time before the next T20 World Cup, if that is the objective of making all these changes at this point.
So, since you brought up the name of Hardik Pandya, how big a setback is the absence of Hardik in this white ball series, particularly the T20I series? India did try a Nitish Kumar Reddy, but he is also injured and is currently undergoing his rehab at the Center of Excellence. India had tried a Suryan Setge. So, finding out a genuine fast bowling all rounder in the mold of Hardik Pandey is somewhere India is lacking at the moment?
The thing is that if he's not there, he's going to be missed because he can bring so much in white ball format. He's a terrific all-round cricketer. We all know what he's capable of doing. But unfortunately, yes, he seems to be sustaining injuries on a regular basis. And that is something that nobody can do anything about. If at all, what can be done is that uh, people can try and focus on a few individuals. Like, for example, Arshit Rana is very promising. He is also given the impression that he can perform, but again, he is also is one who's prone to injuries. So some methods need to be worked out, or something needs to be done to try and see what it is that can be done to minimize or to reduce the instances of injuries for them. Injury prevention also is something that needs to be looked into, and at all times one cannot take the route of why try and fix something which is not broken. By that, I mean that fast bowlers sometimes their injuries can be prevented if the biomechanics specialists that are there working in the system can work in a focused manner with regard to fast bowling and the techniques of fast bowling. You can't just put out a blanket statement there saying this at this level it's not about technique. No, at that level also it's all about doing things the right way, because if you can get into doing things the right way as far as your basic uh, principles of fast bowling, or basic principles of fielding, basic principles of throwing are done, then if it's ingrained into the cricketers, if they work on this, even if they make an improvement by 30%, I think you will see a lot of injuries being prevented. Now, talking about throwing, you don't see many cricketers capable of throwing from the boundary line now. And then there's one side, there's a lot of talk about modern day cricketers being extremely fit, extremely strong.
Yeah. Sir, obviously, are you in favor of selectors giving a chance to someone like a Rajat Patidar, who is above 30, or someone like a Bhuvneshwar Kumar, who has performed exceedingly well in the recently concluded IPL? Um, and, but there's a notion that T20 cricket is a format where you groom youngsters, blood in youngsters.
I think this bit about this 13-year-old, 15-year-old, 35-year-old shouldn't be spoken about. My point is very simple. If the selectors feel that X, Y, Z can deliver for India, what it is that you're looking at, and if he can fulfill all the parameters, if he can tick all the boxes, and if they think that those cricketers are capable of bringing a lot to the table and they can serve the team's purpose rather, I think they should be picked. If you're talking about a national side, what needs to be decided is it what it is that they're going to bring to the table. If they're capable of delivering, if the selectors or the team management or all of them together feel that X can bring so much of value to the team and can produce the goods, by all means pick that cricketer.
Yeah, talking about delivering, obviously now the focus will shift to the ODI series that follows the final T20 International at Southampton. And yes, talking about the ODI cricket, the three matches that are coming up, the focus will be on Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. And also Shubman Gill. And so, uh, looking up to that next year's World Cup, 50 overs World Cup, how do you see these two fitting into the Indian team?
Those guys, poor guys, yeah, leave them alone, yeah. What about the other eight who play along with them? Talk about them also sometimes. Focus on that also, because cricket is a team game. Poor guys, they've done extraordinarily well for such long periods of time, and Gill is looking like one who's going to do it for a long time. Amesha, why do we want to just, be going in the same path all the time? Let's look at it overall. Let's see what it is that, is likely to happen. Let's plan about what exactly needs to be done in an all-round manner.
Thank you very much, Raman sir. It was a pleasure talking to you. That was WB Raman exclusively. Keep watching this space to get all the updates throughout our
I,
coverage of
I
sport.
have to put on record here saying that you're the most difficult bowler I have faced.
Come on, good.
You always land me in trouble.
It has always been a pleasure. Always having known you closely, it has always been a pleasure, and I have a lot of respect to you. So that's it for now. We'll keep watching this space to get all the updates throughout our coverage of space. This is me, Debasis, signing out for Revsportz. Keep watching.